Hey, what's going on, miners? Today we're going to be talking about the Caspa KS1. So let's get right into it. Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about the KS1 today, and I just want to give a huge shout out to cryptominerbros for helping me out to get one of these things here. So thank you, cryptominerbros, really appreciate it. So today we're going to be going over the basic setup, how to get this thing actually configured, as well as maybe some stuff you should do before you actually plug in the power. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take apart the ASIC a little bit. We're going to check to make sure the hash boards and the control board on top and everything's all plugged in together, because sometimes during transport these things can wiggle loose and it can cause you problems down the road. So let's go ahead and let's actually crack that thing open behind me and make sure that all the connections are secure. So we have our KS1 right here. We got this from cryptominerbros. So the first thing we need to do is we actually need to get this top cover off here, and we're actually going to inspect all the connections from the fans and the hash boards and everything like that, and make sure everything is actually properly connected and stuff like that, because there has been times where some of them do wiggle loose and then people end up having hash board issues, fan issues and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and crack this thing open. So these are our connections right here, and as you can see, it looks like we have a power cord. We have power and ground going to the bus bars right here, and it looks like it's secure. No, it's not loose at all. We're gonna make sure that this actual PCIe is plugged in here. You have your two fan cables here. We're gonna make sure that they're plugged in. You got the two fan cables that go to the back here. We're gonna make sure they're all nice and plugged in. And then you actually have your actual hash boards for your unit, and we're gonna make sure that those are nice and plugged in. Okay, and that's it. And sometimes, and most of the time, all this stuff is good, but I have seen ones, especially in a video, I believe Panda did a video maybe a year ago, where one of these was out a little bit, right? It was like a little loose, and he had to push it in to get it to actually register. So it's always good just to kind of crack this open, double check your connections, and then you can just put it all back together again. All right, now that we actually have the unit and we made sure all of our connections are good, let's go ahead, let's head out to my garage. Let's get the power plugged in. Let's get all this stuff plugged in, and let's get this thing ready to rock and roll, right? Hey, what's going on, guys? We're out here in the garage. I got the garage door open so we can get some sunlight in here and actually be able to, record and stuff like that. So we're gonna be hooking up the KS1 here. Plug in this, Ethernet port right here. We're then gonna take our C13 to C14 and we're gonna plug it in right there. Okay. And then we're going to turn the machine on. Looks like all the fans in the front are spinning. Let's go ahead and check our back fans real quick. All right, it looks like our back fans are all spinning. All fans are good. The last thing you're going to want to do is click this little button here. You're going to want to do an IP report. This way you can find this either in your router or with a tool like Advanced IP Scanner. So we're going to go ahead and click this.
So once you actually, so you'll be greeted with this screen once you actually find the IP address for the ASIC itself. Mine's on 10.10.13.16. This is the login page for that. You're going to type in admin, and then you're going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to click OK. And I don't know why it's doing that. So I do apologize. I did record this already earlier, but there was some issue with the actual file. So the miner has been running for about 16 hours now. So, but I will still show you guys how to get this set up. So the first thing you're going to want to do is come over here to miner settings, and you're going to want to change out the pool address with your current Caspa pool that you want to use. I'm using caspapool.org. So just make sure you copy the stratum and TCP and the port number, and then you're going to want to copy over your Caspa wallet over here, and then as well as put a worker name at the end of yours. I put .KS1, and then after that, you will click save right over here. You'll click save, and then the miner it'll reconfigure and start mining again. The next thing I would recommend is changing your password. In this way, in case there is some kind of person who does get on your network and can take control of your ASICs. So just another security measure, always reset your guys' passwords. As well as if you do need to get a firmware upgrade, this is where you would do it. It's pretty simple. You download the file, and then you would select the file here. So I've already downloaded the file. You would just go right here to this file and then click upload. Now, I'm not upgrading the firmware because I don't want to overclock my ice river. So I'll be doing another video on that in the near future, but I'm not going to keep mine permanently overclocked. You also have some IP settings if you want to change, this is the name that it comes with. And then if you want, you can change your DHCP and your gateways and all of your IP configuration here. And then, so as well as if you actually want to adjust the fan speed manually, you can set it here and actually set this fan speeds to a static speed. Right now, these are on automatic, and it's pretty cold outside. It's about 68 degrees in Arizona. So I'm just letting them ride. You could also put the unit to sleep if you wanted to, but that's not really necessary. So that's pretty much it. It takes about 5-10 minutes to get it to spin up. And then once that happens, you'll start seeing some hash rate actually come here. And as you can see, it is kind of a wavy line. So it does go down to 960 gigahash and gets up to almost 1100 gigahash. So it kind of goes up and down, but it's like an average of like 1 terahash is what the average is for the Caspa KS1.
That's going to conclude today's video on how to set up your KS1 properly. Always make sure when you're actually getting new ASICs or used ASICs that you actually take apart the actual control board up there, so that way you can actually see all the connections and double check that they're all actually connected. Because like I said, sometimes in shipping these things move around on boats and in air. They kind of get tossed around a little bit, and you can get some connections that do wiggle and will give you problems in the future. So it just takes 5 minutes and it'll save you a lot of headache in the future. Now, I do realize that there is a firmware upgrade for this, and I will do a tutorial video on that particular firmware, but am I going to personally run it long term? The answer is going to be no. Just because, for the simple fact that I don't want to void any warranties or risk damaging my KS1, I would rather have it run steady and smooth at the actual hash rate that it was actually, advertised as. Now, that's just me. Maybe some of the other guys want to risk it. So stay tuned for that video because it'll coming up in the near future. So let me know you guys' thoughts down below. Are you guys interested in getting a KS1 or KS2? I actually think these machines are great. I did a video about 2 weeks ago when I actually purchased the KS1 and I had to wait for the batch to get released, right? That was about mid-October, and now we're getting into November now. So the next video I'll be doing is, this is the yields that the KS1 was making when I ordered the machine. This is the yields of actually what I'm actually getting with the machine right now. So, all right guys, this is the Miner King giving you the most hashes, and I'll see you next time.